So I will just right click and take an emitter fountain. In previous video, in the shape location, we covered the sphere. Now we will use this cylinder location. So I'll just delete these velocities and we have particles spawning on a sphere. Okay. Now if I change it from here to cylinder, now we have a cylinder. Let me increase some particles so we can see the shape properly. So we have this cylinder and the first option is height of cylinder. You can increase or decrease this. The second option is radius. Okay, this is clear. Then the third option is midpoint. So basically when I'm changing the height, you can see height is changing from center to both side. But if this midpoint is 0, height will change. The pivot is here in the bottom. Now height is changing only from bottom to up. And if I make this up 1, height will change to down. So by default it is 0.5. So these are the three options. And let me open this. Then we have the distribution of surface. So if I make this one particle, just a particle spawning on the volume, if I this is 0, by default particle spawning on the edge. So it is the different from the sphere. In the sphere location, at 0 value particle spawning on the volume, at 1 value particle spawning on the surface, but this is the surface only band thickness. So at 1 it is on the volume and at 0 it is just the surface. After this we have the distribution that is random by default like a sphere, and we can just use the direct and you will have the same thing like a sphere. So U is the same thing like in the sphere, it is covering the radius and it's animating. So if I make the light on 5, you can see. And this V is the height, so you can change the height. And if I copy and paste the same edge here, so see it's going up. And if you want more coils, you can copy this and then multiply this and paste and like 3. You can decrease this. See, so we have now more coils. You can play with it. After this, we have a spawn group that we just covered in the spawn and the sphere location. So you can watch that. It is actually linked by default from the spawn rate. We have the spawn group same. If you want two location, you need to make the one in another and then duplicate this and make it one. So it will link that. After this transform is same, because in sphere location I told you that this transform is same in any location, so I will just cover it very quickly. So let me just reset this and particle spawning on the surface of this. Okay, so the first option is scale. If you want to scale it like on Z, so this is actually the height of this, but you can also make this flat on one surface like this on the Y or maybe X, and you can also increase it like this much. Okay, so this is just a scale on separate axis. After that you have the rotation. If you use like angle this much and you have this, you can rotate this. Let me stop. So you can rotate to match your cylinder with your yeah, like requirement. Cool. And you have this also this yaw pitch that works the same. Okay, you can put one here and then to animate here, rotate here, just to match. Okay, then we have the last, that is offset. By default is none. You can make it default and you will have a vector here, and you can just offset the cylinder on any axis. Okay, cool. So basically these values are important because you can link it with anything. Like you want the cylinder to attach with any weapon or a character, you can just make this vector a user parameter, then use it in the blueprint or in the sequencer, anywhere you can connect it. Okay, so that's the cylinder location. I hope you like this. So one thing I forgot to tell you in the cylinder location, so I'm just recording this video again, and that is the distribution here, this thing, this part. So in this cylinder you can make this hemming on the X, so you will have the half. You can do that on the Y also, and you can also use this enable let. Let is very cool. You can change the cylinder location totally. So if you click here, you will have a curve, and you can see that curve works on this radius of the according to the height. So basically, if you want these the top and bottom pins, you can make these both values 0 and 0. Okay, so basically now you can reduce this. Okay, and this is the center, so you can, it's not updating. Yeah, it's updating actually. So basically, if you use like this much, why it's not updating? Let me just do something. So what I'll do, I'll delete this and I'll take the burst. I'll make some more particles, and now you can see it's updated. So every time it's spawning, it's updating the location. So now you can use any of these curves like this and it will update. You can use this, you can use this, or you can make your own. Cool. So this is very useful. You can make lots of shapes from this. So like if I select this and make this like this, make it 0.2, and at 0.0 I will make it 1. So we have now a glass, a wine glass. Cool. So see, this curve represent the shape. So we have now wine glass, and I guess we can now make this. Yeah. So it is hollow from inside now. Cool. So this is very important. So that's it. Bye.